Horror and anime go together about as well as crack and poverty, which is extremely well, bad analogy. Oil and water are a better example because outside of a select few shows over the span of decades, horror just doesn't work in the same medium that gives you shit like the indomitable will of the human spirit and the ass-boxing of Babylon.
And I have access to all their butt techniques. Gain a booty line!
God, I love this medium. Anime is home to the zany, colorful wonders that is the human imagination, which usually ends up in sexual assault or your little sister eating you.
What?
So to say there's no place for the macabre would be woefully incorrect, but there just hasn't been an anime that really nails the unnerving, creeped out feeling you get from a good horror picture until now. Uzumaki is set in a small town, a place where everyone is intimately familiar with one another and always teeming with neighborly camaraderie. So no one's really gonna bat an eye when this guy's dad starts hyping up his hip new obsession with spirals, because who doesn't love that Naruto guy? Ramen is cool too, and spirals are just so innately amusing to watch, satisfying to be a part of, and even to imitate with cool eye tricks or become one with. Uzumaki succeeds in telling a basic story of a guy's dad randomly becoming enthralled with the idea of a spiral of something hypnotic, while making you feel like something is off. The entire time I watched it, I couldn't shake this feeling of uneasiness, because while there are times where the anime goes out of its way to make you uncomfortable with certain imagery and actions of characters, it's the normal scenes which affected me the most. The ones that exist to portray the characters' personalities through the visuals, that exist solely to deliver the exposition, and yet every last one of them made me feel wary. These characters don't feel real, this environment feels foreign, and everyone and thing is off. Eerily similar to the uncanny valley, an effect in which something that looks just human enough, yet so not human at the same time, that it makes you uncomfortable. And while the anime possesses bigger moments filled with sublime body horror that concoct a similar effect, it's this overall feel the show manages to accomplish through such simple, everyday scenes that really drives it all home, and what honestly makes it succeed where all others have failed. Even in scenes like this.
Vagina behind.
On a technical level, the anime is no slouch as it quite literally brings the manga to life, giving it motion but removing the color, something that's way harder than you'd think, while also managing to capture the staggered movement and expressions of characters that a manga may naturally give off, making them feel out of sync and strange to add to your dread. Yet it still binds them perfectly with the abstract backgrounds to make them feel in sync with their environment. And it's this slow, meticulous, methodic nature of this adaptation that immediately captures your attention, as well as this.
Oh fuck God, why would she do that?
Other horror animes still feel like anime, and that therein lies the problem. You can't be scared of something bright and colorful, so the most they can ever really attain is gory violence that typically strays into the comedic territory. But Uzumaki not only creates something new and akin to real-life horror films through its aforesaid methodology, it also balances the innate comedy found in Junji Ito's works from how inherently silly the things being portrayed are. Cause like, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't scream like a bitch and run away at the sight of a cute girl. I'd ask what that hole do. The shot composition, in regard to how they show us the next scene and when, mixed with this weird rotoscope CG effect of the characters, fundamentally achieves a similar effect to reading Ito's manga, wherein you never know what to expect when turning the page, growing impatient in anticipation and dread, only to be met with awe-inspiring body horror. Thus, when combining this level of direction with exceptional music that captures the chilling aura of such a setting, and absolute disgusting sound design that truly understands how an eyeball being swallowed would sound, you end up with this exemplary piece of how it should all be done, which is historically something I feel most Junji Ito adaptations have failed in understanding. The core concept of his work is not that it's inherently scary per se, but that a majority of his stories are uncomfortable and unsettling adventures into wacky dark comedy that typically stem from the human psyche and our shortcomings, all fitted with art that practically leaps through the pages. However, most other adaptations either do away with all of it, like in that weird UFO table one, or they're so bad, they're hilarious and really capture the comedy unintentionally. Funniest shit I've ever seen. Ultimately, Uzumaki is one of the premier horror manga that captures your attention and never lets it go, so to have its style and emotion so perfectly replicated for the big screen is not only beautiful, but poetic. And this adaptation understands his work the best of any of them. Thus, while I personally feel that at times this version attempts to lean too much into trying to be scary, and would honestly benefit from being more subtle like in The Flowers of Evil, the director's previous work, or from using this adaptation as a springboard to make something more creatively unique to the team working on it for this specific version, it's still fantastic overall, and a feat all its own that has me hungry for even better anime adaptations to come from this for more of Ito's work, with Uzumaki, in time, becoming a cult classic all over again that stands as an example of how horror and anime can truly be done.